In 10 years, we've never had such good news to share and such bad news to share in the same show. We're going to get to the good news, but the bad news is this will be our last season of Windy City Live. Our last show in this format will be September 3rd, and then Val and I will move to a weekly show on Fridays. The working title will be Windy City Weekend. But this is an end of an era, and thank you, Chicago. But so much emotion comes with this, doesn't it, Val?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And, you know, I've been dreading today, this part of today, but, you know, I kind of didn't want to even come in and talk about it. You know, like you said, Ryan, it was quite the shock for me and for a lot of you who have heard this. And it has been a great run. It has been an amazing 10 years. I look at this studio and work as my refuge. I love my job. I love being here. And to think about, you know, I sat here, and that's why I said earlier, if you're at home watching, like, it's very weird to even talk about this today without having my partner in crime in studio to just talk about this and to break this down. But this has been my life and our life, Ryan, for a decade, but not just our lives. This has been Chicago's show for 10 years. This is not our show. And that was the thing that kind of hit me hard. You know, it's one thing, yeah, we have had a great run and we have another year, but our staff, they're done September 3rd. Chicagoans won't have this appointment TV every day. And I know, because we are in the streets all the time, Ryan, and having people come up and say, my grandmother watches your show every day, or we watch it at midnight. This show has become the fabric of Chicago. There's nothing like it in this city. And so for us to have had this platform and to have Chicagoans feel like they have stake in this show has meant so much to me, because I think about this as Chicago's show, not just Val and Ryan. It takes a whole team, a whole village. We've had some wonderful people that have come and gone and had an influence and a hand in making this show what it is. But yeah, it's a sad day, and I did really well to get through this without crying. So I'm going to stop because I can feel it coming and I don't want to.
Yeah, well, hey, that's normal. And, you know, I don't cry easily, and I'm upset, too, mainly because of this. Now, listen, we know that we exceeded expectations. This show lasted at least twice longer than I ever thought it would, and so I'm super thankful, and I know you are too. A lot of gratitude, but it's almost like reading the messages on Facebook and hearing from Chicagoans, hearing from people saying, hey, you gave a voice to the voiceless, you gave a platform to me when I was a struggling artist, you helped me get booked for other shows. I was a musician, nobody would put me on TV, and you gave me a chance. Hearing those kinds of stories actually made me sad, but
it was almost, Ryan, like going to your funeral but still being alive.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, think about it. Think about, you don't know what people are going to say about you when you're dead and gone. Well, now we're gone, but we're still here, and we're reading the messages of the, at least I got a laugh out of my crew. I'm going to miss terribly. I don't want to talk about it, but it's almost like, that's the best analogy I can have. You know the impact that you've had, and you've been able to I'd be lying if I told you I could read those messages without weeping and sobbing. There were some, like you mentioned, Ryan, that really, they all meant so much, but then there are some, you know, for me, having young girls who look like me talk about the impact that that's had in their lives, to be able to sit in this seat and know that they have the chance one day to also be in this seat like me, like that hits tough. But I will say this, and I think we can just about wrap this up. My son Maxwell Warner and I, the day after we got the news and I got out of the fetal position from crying for about 24 hours, we took a walk down State Street because we had to run some errands. And this was the first time a viewer saw us and had heard the news and said, oh, God, Val, you know, so sorry, we're going to miss you and Ryan. And I said, thanks. And here comes another one. You know, that happened a couple times. And my son, like you know, Ryan, is not the real talker, you know, in the family. So for when he has something to say, you kind of listen. So he put his arm around me, and we were walking, and he said, you know, Ma, there's other opportunities are going to come. And I go, okay. Right. So I'm like, okay, who's he been talking to? And he goes, it's okay. He said, you're still Val Warner for one more year.
Oh. Well, he was trying to give you the pep talk.
He was trying to give me a pep talk, but it was funny because he had the comedic pause and everything, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm still around for One more year.
We're still around. We're going to be doing a weekly show on Fridays. But yeah, it's certainly an end of an era. And like I said, one of the toughest things to come back after a break and talk about this. But let's shift gears and talk about the good. One of the best things that has happened in 10 years. Val Warner got married.
I's married now.
You are wifed up officially. Tell everyone about it. It was beautiful. It was the best wedding I've ever been to.
Ryan, you tell them. You were there. You were the officiant extraordinaire. I mean, from your vantage point, what was it like for you? There's us on our first. There's my husband. Wow, there's my husband, Elijah Maxey Jr., and I on our first romantic date at the Hyatt Ziva Cancun, which was amazing. I mean, the views from that resort, no matter where you stepped out, you saw nothing but the beautiful Caribbean Ocean. And there is our officiant, Ryan, and me on our day. So much to talk about. Ryan, I'm going to let you go first, and then there's the groom. There's Jabba, who's affectionately known in Chicago as Jabba.
Yeah, I say that you're my sister from another Mista. She's my bro. He's my bro from another Momo. I love Jabba. I love the two of you together. This was the third wedding, as you know, that I have officiated. Hopefully it's my last. But it was the one that I worked the hardest on. I spent the most time on, and I wanted to really get it right. It's probably the reason why I'm a little under the weather. I lost sleep over that ceremony, just working on it. I pulled like an all-nighter to make sure it was perfect. And it was a beautiful wedding. Just the scenery was amazing. Your friends and the loved ones that all flew out to be there and to support you two. And you really are like this perfect magnetic energy together. So you found the right guy, that's for sure. And that's the one beautiful thing through all this hardship that we are kind of dealing with. You have your rock, aside from me, because I got a sister out of this whole deal in the last 10 years. And to officiate your wedding, honestly, is one of the greatest honors of my life. So thank you for that.
Yeah. It was amazing. So we got to Cancun a few days before the wedding, and John and I did that on purpose, just so we can have like a little us time to just kind of ground ourselves before the crowd. And when I say we are truly blessed to have so many friends and family travel to witness this. Of course, I'm not sure that they weren't just coming for a vacation because they've all been locked in the house, but they took their time, their money, their efforts, their energy, and poured it into us. And when you're planning a wedding, and Ryan, you've been here when I've been like doing the show and planning everything, you have a little bit of anxiety about how it's all going to work. Or is everything you envision, all the planning, the decisions that have to be made, will it turn out like you expected? And I have to say, not only did it turn out like I expected, it far exceeded my expectations. From no drama, people there who were really rooting for us, who loved us, who met friends. There are people there who made friends with each other, and just the energy, and it was a beautiful time. The weather held up. And one thing I do have to say, so I have to say, of course, shout out Hyatt Ziva Cancun, fantastic service. Kia Marie Events, who came in and helped me seal the deal and make this wedding, what I had in my head, come to life. Ryan, my officiant, of course, our friends and family, our photographer, M28 Mac Photography, and his team. But there's something that Jabba and I had cooked up that nobody knew about except for Kia, our wedding planner. And that was, when I was planning this, I said, Jabba and I are kind of not the regular couple. We have a lot of energy and we like to have a fun. And he is an Omega Psi Phi man. That is a Black Greek fraternity started on Howard's campus that is really about brotherhood and fun. So I said, Jabba, in the garage one day, I go, let's do something different when we come out for our recessional. Let's not just come out to some typical wedding song. We'll have those at the reception. I said, let's come out to Atomic Dog, which is an anthem of the Bras. So when we were announced by my brother, Ryan Chiaverini, Mr. and Mrs. Maxey, this is what happened. So, Okay, so basically, if you are wondering what the heck is happening right now, you see all of those guys back there singing. They're singing Omega, which is the Q Omega Psi Phi fraternity song. And what Java did, so there is what they call hop. They hop, the Capistrol, everybody has their own thing. So that is a traditional hop that the bros do when they get together for celebratory moments, or even not, just because they want to have a good time. And they are all about a good time. So I did not know that Java was going to set out a hop. We were just going to do a 1, 2, 3 because I had a heel and dress on. So, you know, that's what it was. But he just got caught up in the emotions. And that video has had more than 250,000 views. It's been shared by everybody because they just got so it set the tone for the reception, which was epic.
Yeah, it was epic. And I was still standing at the altar when you two were doing the hop. I didn't know that was coming. But now to see it from that angle was actually really cool. But what a wedding. And congratulations. So, I mean, one door might be closing, but you just started a new life together with Jab. And we love him. And obviously the viewers got to see the engagement as well on Windy City Live. So it's been fun being able to follow this journey and to now get to see it, you know, all come into fruition with the wedding.
That is absolutely right. So thank you again to everyone for all of the well wishes. And we're going to show you, this is just a little tease because we do have the official wedding video because so many people from Chicago couldn't make it. And you know I want to share it with all the viewers at home. So we're going to have that coming up before we sign off on September 3rd. All right, Ryan, let's take a quick little break right now because we got to do what you love. When we come back, Chicago singer and actress Ife Butler joins us for Host Chat. We're just getting started, Chicago. We're back for 4 weeks, but we're back.